Great ride isn't, y'all. Great ride isn't. Come on for the walk. I think I should have cleaned my camera before. I gotta do an apology. FB. Cause if I stop walking now, ha! Apology accepted, right? Get your chair, get your mat, jump on your bike, line up if you're walking on the wall. Great ride, isn't y'all? Whew! I did too much, y'all. Because when you walk with me, great ride isn't. I'm going to see if me doing some stretches in the house before I went to the garage to do the roller skating. And when we were driving, like 30, 40 minutes, by the time I got to the rink, I would be so stiff. So it didn't work out there. So as I'm now skating in the garage, I got on my mat on the floor. I did like a 20-minute work stretch out. Got to that garage, and it was worse than on Friday. I just gotta skate. And my warm-up gotta be skating. Great rides, y'all. Great rides, and I just wanted to tell y'all that. Great rides, and come on for a walk. Like, comment, share, tell uncle, tell auntie, tell a cousin, tell a friend. Subscribe, y'all. Ooh, my subscribers on YouTube, much love. Much love. Much love. Love you too, Facebook, with y'all friends and family. So it's like y'all watch me more out of dedication than out of healthcare and exercise reasons. I think the majority of my YouTube subscribers aren't people that I know. But whoo-hoo! 332, honey. 100 for every year. All right now. Oh. Just a quick side note before I go into, you can't run a church on Hail Marys. It's sad. And this penal colony should be ashamed of itself. Ashamed of itself. For all the lies it's telling. Especially to these white boys. I see it with the African American community because the mothers are doing it on both sides. They're taking their sons and they're sitting in there on them pulpits and watching them pimps in the pulpit, pedophile in robes, and baby peanut suckers. You're sitting there, you're letting them sit right there. They're being taught how to respect women, disrespect women, definitely how to hate an American, but that's if you know the history, if you don't, anyway. And you're telling them that they're Superman. Hold on, y'all. I never understood why Superman was so popular. But it's for the little white boys. is to say you are Superman. You are privileged on this penal colony. The label born and blood inmate criminals, like myself, whose ancestors were imprisoned on this penal colony hundreds of years ago, but every one of their descendants, as long as they're on this penal colony and beyond, because they have trashed us all over, is labeled a born and blood inmate criminal. So that's what he's taught. So there's this one guy, he's a YouTuber, a TikToker, white guy. A white guy who shot up elementary school. The assistant principal stopped him, and someone else was coming to help the assistant principal, and quote unquote, the gun went off. White people's gun always going off, just off. But that's their first strike, so it can. For us, if that gun go off and we have it, it's intentional. Why? Because we're labeled born and blood inmate criminals. So we had to. That has to be our second strike. But they're not like that. They're in the world of privileged. So he did his time. He was supposed to do 20 years. I'm moving the camera, y'all. He was supposed to do 20 years. But he did 17. And he came out hating black people. Spewing hate under the guise of helping the police department focus and find out the sick little boys who are going to go shoot up the school like he wanted to. And then they hated black people. Now, he don't know why he hates them. He just know he does. And he learned that in jail. So after he got out of jail, he was working in some kind of shelter. And in his white supremacist way, he said something to an African American, and he got chopped. So now he hates them. So that's what he spews. Under the guise of helping the police identify kids who are going to be school shooters. Hell, give me a paycheck. I can identify them. I can identify them. Privileged. Not told the truth about life. You see, when I see little African American boys and stuff like that, little boy went to school and shot the teacher, I knew it was the mother. Because he wasn't warned. My daughter was warned. And back in the day, we was warned. Don't do nothing where they lock you up. That was it. When I said it to white kids, they was like, what? What? Your mother talked to you on that? Yeah, we were told constantly. If we got a foot out of line, we're going to get locked up. Heck, that was a given. Well, anyway, also, on his TikTok and stuff, he screws how horrible and unfair the prison system, brick and mortar prison system is. And now that he's been free after serving 17 years, he's on the penal colony now. And he sees that now he is a labeled not born in blood, a labeled inmate criminal. And he's mad. housing sucks. Because he had to work in that shelter and said the wrong thing to that African American man, and he chop. And he can't get nothing on this penal colony. He mad. And I was like, that's how it is with African Americans. It has nothing to do with racism. It has to do with labeling. We're labeled inmate criminals. And now the little white boy who was privileged is labeled inmate criminal. He can't get no money because he did shoot somebody at the school, and they had to lock down the school and get the psychiatrist and therapist. And I know them parents sued. So if he making anything from that YouTube channel, it is going to victims. So you have that. And he did $500,000, but all he has to do is talk about black people. And not in the way that he should. He should be saying, man, when I got out of that brick and mortar prison and came on this pinnacle and they said I was free, I wasn't free. I have to sign in. People's always watching me. I have to have a panic attack if I'm pulled over by the police. Because see, he was in jail. And they know he has a record. So he don't want his driver's license put into no police system. That's African Americans on this penal colony. It's unfair. Housing. He's being treated like black people. No, you ain't being treated like black people. You're being treated like an inmate on a penal colony. Because that's how we are treated. It ain't got nothing to do with race, honey. It has everything with label. If they made you wear your inmate, your old inmate number on your shirt, they wouldn't want you in their restaurants. Okay? Alright? Okay? Ain't got nothing to do with race. That's the guise of the bullshit. Got nothing to do with race. Everything to do with label. Because some 600 years ago, our ancestors were brought to this penal colony as prisoners of war of the crowns of Europe. Here, Jamaica, Haiti, Puerto Rico, Anguilla, Dominican Republic. I said Haiti, Jamaica, Antigua, the Virgin Islands, penal colonies. Penal colonies. That's how we got there. The point was to remove us as far, our ancestors, as far away from Africa as possible. That's what you do. We see it done all the time. Ain't they warring in Israel right now? It happens all the time. It's nothing to be ashamed of. It happens all the time, war. Kings play games. The African kings was rolling the dice and they was winning high. They was rolling high for a long time. And then the other kings gained up on them and they lost. And we were prisoners of war. The prisoners of war were brought to this penal colony, and the list that I named So the European crowns and the Arab crowns, they're laughing. They're laughing because they know who we're descendants of and why we're here on this penal colony and why we're labeled born in blood inmate criminals all across. Not because we are. It's because we're feared and it keeps us separated. Look, there you go. Easy peasy. Oh, it's almost time for our break, y'all. So they trying to get the young boy off YouTube or TikTok, but I said let him go. Ignorance is bliss, honey. Let him go. Let him do his thing. Let him do his thing is what he was taught. He was taught hate. That's why he went to shoot up a school full of white kids. And after the whole process is done, he mad at black people. So, get some water. Whew. If I stop walking, y'all, the game's gonna trip me up. I got the window open. A nice cool breeze coming through. Save your feet and toes. Yeah, I said, come walk with me. Save your like that guitar in the morning. All that guitar. Cause if I stop walking, a lot of guitar. They cut me up until I'm just a nose. Yeah, y'all. Yeah. Come walk with me. And save your toes and feet. Yeah. Yeah. I said, come walk with me. Yeah. That's what I'm doing, y'all. That's what I'm doing. Cause when you walk with me. What? You can eat. What? Yeah. I'm walking, y'all. Trying to save my feet and toes. I said I'm walking now. Trying to save my feet and toes. Cause if I stop walking now, they cut me up until just a nose. Yeah, honey. That is the truth. So, y'all know I listen to podcasts. I'm so sick of seeing them bleached blonde, fake titties and butts and everything. Podcasters and talking heads and people who hate my guts feeding me lies. I can't do it no more. So, noisy machine. I'm gonna oil it up when I get off. Anyway. Let's see. Did that make it better or worse? Made it worse for me. Anyway, so I'm listening to podcasts, and they're talking about the Catholic Church, just like the foundation, like going back, not back far enough because they didn't include us in it. Because they don't know that our ancestors brought here as prisoner of war of the crowns of Europe. They think that we was brought here to pick cotton. Anyway. Anywho. So, they talking about like Rome has its own army or anything like all that stuff. But the whole income of the Roman Empire comes from Mount Calvary Baptist Church, Zion A&E thing, the first African, all of those who use Christ paid to Rome. Ain't them pedophiles and rogue something? Ain't them baby penis suckers something? Well, they don't use Christ. They got Pharaoh shit. Yes! Ain't that something, y'all? Ain't that something? And I was sitting down, and they are moving money. Listen. These wardens, these legislative wardens, these judicial wardens, and the executive warden, that's all they are. That's all they are. The Pope is on the kingship. And the kings are over this penal colony. All of the European kings. And the Pope. Just another word for a king. So I'm listening to the podcast, and I'm saying to myself, wow. Rome moving money like that owns army. Now I know about the Crusades. Okay, I know about the lie. Because if we're not in that, then it's a lie. Yes. Because it was also flushing us up. Okay? When you're king of Europe, you do what kings do. And when kingdoms fall, so does the kings. Ergo, the reason for me here. Anyway, I'm sitting there with my mouth open. Listen to how the Pope is moving stuff. And I know all the religions that use the name of Christ say that black people are evil demons, dark cause of their sins, that old drunk guy that was getting drunk and probably a pedophile, churching on the girls, and the son Ham saw him in his naked drunkenness. And then the naked drunk said, you are cursed. All your children will be cursed. And Ham was black. But I never understood how, they said that no one was white. Everybody was white. And then you got the black Ham. I don't understand. But that's close. You're not meant to understand. You're meant to stay in a state of confusion. Anyway. So I'm listening. I'm like, holy shit. No wonder. And I thought they was talking about pedophilia and stuff, but how they're covering up. I think that was the basis of it. How Rome covers up for the pedophilia and stuff like that. But listen, from the start, in order to get to the child, you have to disarm the mother. And every year, we celebrate a man whose mother is basically a horcrux. Get mad at J.K. Rowling, don't get mad at me. Okay? She slept with another entity. Man, God, like a pope, because they said Pope is God. So the Pope could have been sleeping with her while her husband was laying right next to her and made a baby. And everybody celebrates it. So that's why you're able to get in and do all this stuff, because you already discredit the woman. And then the women are raising their sons to treat her as such, because eventually the son says, but mommy, wasn't Mary married? And then eventually the child said, is that why Dad, it's so easy for Daddy to call you a Horcrux? Because Mary was a Horcrux? And is that why there's a whole lot of domestic violence during that holiday? Because everybody knows deep within it's celebrating the birth of a child from a Horcrux. They call my mother a Horcrux. She had me. She wasn't married. He wasn't either. But it didn't matter. Nobody was married. But because they were married, she was called a Horcrux and I was called a bastard. But every year we celebrate a Horcrux and her bastard son. And it's fine and he's wonderful and it's great. And me, I was treated like doo-doo. Do you want to know who my hero is? My hero is that lady that said, my baby daddy. My baby daddy. For me, it eliminated the word bastard. So anyway, I'm sitting there with my mouth open and the whole room is in and I remember on a Facebook page, I have a friend that's going through Africa. And all I could see is these Catholic cathedrals all over the place. Bells ringing. And I'm like, what the hell? Now I know they done erased the history of these African countries. And they don't even know that those folks are there just to drain the tank too, honey. To drain the tank. Get them out. Get them out. They're poisoning the people and they're poisoning the country. So anyway, they is moving monies. They is moving guns through that room under the guise of that pedophile in the robe and cap and all his pedophile millions, pedophile society. And then, as the guy is telling the story, I guess who was listening, the party he was listening to, they was like, what? 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 And he looked at him and he says, it takes more than Hail Marys to run a church. It takes extortion. It takes all this money. Every time. Now I understand. The elders used to say it. They said every time you put a dime in that tithe, in that cult church under the name of Christ, you are giving your money to Rome, who hates your guts because he hates your kings. And that's why he's over there sucking the life out of Africa. Because the Pope too will make sure that we never get to the level that our ancestors were back in those days of conquering and ruling Europe. They'll never let it get back to that. So, if the African countries are to make it, the first thing they gotta do is kick them cults out. Kick them out. Kick them pedophile priests out. Kick them Mormons out. These are all cults, the Scientology. No good do they mean to the country because they know what very few African Americans know. Oh, they hate us, they hate us. African Americans say, oh, they hate us. No, they don't want you to rule ever again. That's all. So they label you inmate criminals, cut you off the education, make sure you don't have no decent health care. I'm trying to tell you, there's probably extra money doctors get when they bump us off. Okay? Because it's an edict. I told y'all, doctors for white people have the Hippocratic oath of do no harm. That's not for the label born in blood inmate criminals whose ancestors were prisoners or imprisoned on this penal colony. And the European crowns know, keep everybody, keep all them Africans separated on all them different penal colonies. Their greatest fear is us ever coming back together. Let me get my weight. Kick them out of your country, African nations. If you want to grow, if you want to survive, kick them out and secure your borders. Make them pay for everything. Everything. Every African in that nation should be wealthy. Take it from those Arabs, them sheiks and shit, because this is all part of that game they're playing. And I want us to stay out of it. There's a game with the kings, honey. This is a penal colony. They move stuff. These are countries. This is a penal colony. This ain't no president. Wardens. They're just wardens. And all they're supposed to do is keep the edicts in place. And the edict is trying to cut down our population as much as possible. And if you can't cut down the population, throw them in jail. And let them rot. And if they live long enough on this penal colony to get old, make sure they're not treated any better than if they were serving time for a crime in a place in a brick and mortar prison. So that's why I don't expect nothing out of nobody. I mean, I know the drill. I'm just going to go through to my matter and energy separator. Here you go. Squeeze your gut. Tuck in your elbow. Neither no down. Hi, I see somebody saying hi. As soon as I finish doing this, I'll say hi. I'll take a look and see what you wrote. Okay, neither up, no down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And 1 for good luck. Whew. I'm trying to shape this body, honey. I will not be Tweety Bird's mother with my butt up in the air and the titties that, no, honey. I'm finna bring this body into a skater's body. I ain't say a good skater. I ain't say an excellent skater. I just said I want that skater's body where I'm just up and down, not this big stomach sitting on my thighs. Squeeze your gut. Tuck in your elbow. 5. Now go down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. good luck. Yeah, y'all. I don't know if I'm doing this thing right, but it felt good because my shoulders bothered me a little bit. But after I did this, and I don't even know if I'm doing it right, but all those years in the gym, I had to have something left over. Like, comment, share, tell uncle, tell auntie, tell a cousin, tell a friend. Subscribe, subscribe, subscribe. Yes, indeed, y'all. Thanks for coming on the walk. I love you. Let me see what my YouTube support said. I gotta take over. Hey! Oh, Tamaya! Hey, good morning. How you doing, girl? Oh, you can't hear us. We can't hear you. Oh. I don't know. That must be YouTube. Bummer. Thanks, niece. Thanks. Okay. I don't know why you can't hear me. YouTube, they said they can't hear me. Okay. Anyway. Thanks, niece. See you tomorrow. Have a brilliant day. And thanks for coming to walk.